Yeah, it's your boy Mark back with another video. In this video, I will be showing y'all how to take a breakout trade. If you're new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Also, click the notification bell so you can be the first to know once I upload videos on how you can make some daily cash. All right, guys. So, real quick, short little video, nothing too crazy, but this is the live market right now. So, we got this low right here. Also, a support. What you will have at the top, a resistance. All right. So as you see right here, price to the left. Was yesterday highs, right? So when price came right here, and let me grab an arrow to make this. All right, so you see price came right here. It literally came down to this zone. So price do get a little tricky sometimes. So right here, you see it literally came to this area and reacted. So it did sell, but it did not make it back down or past the area that it once went to from the zone. All right. So with that being said, that's showing that price is not trying to be bearish, all right, at the moment. So how I look at it is, okay, what do we have to the left of this right here? Which you see is a demand. So if you don't got your charts marked up, it's gonna be hard to see certain things. All right, here is a demand area. All right, it's a small, little mini demand area, but not really too small because if we calculate this from this area right here, it literally shot up 200 plus points. As y'all can see, 221 points from this area right here. Now, if you're using, the right contract size, this could be an easy 5K, 10K day. This is an easy 1K day if you're using um 2 to 3 contracts. All right. So 200 points is a lot. See that right there? Easy. So from the zone, this is a demand area. We come back into this demand area, and what happened? It shoots up again. As of now, this is not breaking out yet. This is just supply and demand. All right, because it's literally making demand right here, came back into it, and shot up again. All right. So orders were created. Now, guess what? If we drag this over again, it was news. All right. But what price did was literally came down and liquidated these buyers. All right. So it literally just came down and grabbed liquidity at this demand area. So this was the last demand area right here. So started here. So it created orders here, created more orders here, stopped who out? These buyers that was here. That's why I honestly like to trade New York Stock Exchange open because 9 times out of 10, the people that traded in Asian session and London session is going to be liquidity. All right. Um, so these buyers right here got stopped out. Now, at some point, they're gonna have to come back and get these buyers as well because literally no liquidity was taken. It just shot straight up from the zone. So when you think like this and when you know this type of stuff, know kind of sort of where price is trying to go, but price always do what it want to do. All right. So looking to the left is very important. So let's get back to this. So here, 9 times out of 10, uh, these buyers had a stop loss under the demand zone. All right. Now they could have brought it down a little bit more if they wanted to, but they didn't. They literally just stopped these buyers out and took off. Now let's get into the breakout. So once again, guys, once you see that we rejected this area multiple times, when you look to the left and it began to sell right here, and then it rejected right here with a nice little push down. And then we got all of this right here, fake out. So remember, liquidity, the same thing that happened right here, happened right here. Stopped out these sellers that's been sitting at this area, push past, hit their stop loss, and come back down. All right. Now, now that we actually broke and closed above, one or two things can happen. All right. So that's why I say it's different ways to trade a breakout. So one way you can do it is, to me, the best entry possible is always the lowest. So no, you don't know if it's going to push up from here and actually break out the trade, but I would prefer to enter at a actual demand zone, get in at a better price. Here, you're taking a chance, but it's showing you volume. All right, it's showing you who actually is in control when it comes to this area. So once again, if we are literally rejecting this area and then when we finally break it, you can take the buy right here as soon as it break. All right. So you see this, you can take this buy right there as soon as it break. Look at that, 171 points. So these methods that I'm showing y'all is for scalping. Like, I don't be in the market all day. All right. And it's a certain time of the day that I come and look for setups. So this, everything that I'm showing you is New York session, New York Stock Exchange. All right. So you could take that break and catch that move. Now, sometimes it'll go ahead and just push up. So as you see right here, I got a next level zone that I would be looking for price to go to. Sometimes price will push and break super strong and then just go ahead and hit that next level that it need to go to and then reverse heavy or pull back heavy, if that makes sense. But in this case, yeah, it shot up, but it didn't shoot up and go to that next key level yet. So that's when you got to know that price is going to come back, all right, to the level that it actually broke, all right, for new entries. Okay, so you see this the same way it started here, came back for new entries, and then came back for liquidity. It's not gonna always come back two, three times though. And then sometimes, like I said, guys, is the best entry is gonna be that first breakout. So you just got to get good at, spotting when to enter the breakout. So the first way is to just go ahead and take that first break and take that initial push to see how, you don't know how high it's gonna go, how far it's gonna go, but you can still make money that way. Um, and put the stop loss literally under the zone. All right. The second way is to wait for it to come back and retest like it's doing right here, literally wicking off of the area, and then wait for another candle to close above the last candle that rejected off of the pullback. So if that next candle come out, all right, and break. So this is my candle. Sorry, y'all. That look crazy. Hold on. So if my candle, let's say the next candle come out, all right, and it push past this last candle right here. Let me use this instead. I know this look crazy, y'all. Bear with me, bear with me. Cool. So let's say this is the next candle right here. It should be green, y'all, not red, but and it break past the high of this last candle with a wick or whatever. This is where I would enter once it break past that last high, that last candle. So that's the second way. Now the third way, so the second way, that's you just being safe. You just making sure that it's actually pulling back to this area, and then that next candle break above, giving you that extra confirmation to take it back up. All right. And a third way is entering off of the wick. So this is more advanced because you see that right there. This is more advanced and this is more risky, but at the same time, you know, you can literally have a tighter stop loss when it's like this. So let's say you want to take that wick right there. Like I said, it is risky because you don't know if the next candle is going to either break that or go back above, but it's rejecting off of a key area. So it's like you just got to take a shot or take a chance. All right. Um, just off of the wick. So when I say that and it start to push up, you got the best entry possible. All right, at that area. So it will be see that right there? Boom. This would be the example of that second way I told you to enter because it broke the high of the last counter. But let's say you enter down here at the wick. Look at that. You can make your top stop loss even tighter. Like you can put it tighter because it literally rejected already. All right. But it still could come down and stop you out. It's just if you want to get a good entry and be more risky, but not risk as much and have a tight stop loss, you'll have to literally get in off of a wick and not wait for a confirmation. Now, if you wait for the confirmation, which is also cool, you will just have to put your stop loss below the zone. And it'll be, as you see, it'll be um, a little bit more of a risk. All right. But you don't want your stop loss to be where price is literally going up and down at. So you don't want it above the zone. You don't want it up here, none of that, because it still can come back down, tap the zone again, reject again, and then push up. But if you have your stop loss like in the area where it's like fluctuating at, you can get stopped out early. So you always want it under the key area or the key zone. So that's why even if we enter off the wick, it will be literally under that wick. All right. So you would just pay attention to price, how it's reacting, how it's moving, the momentum, is it creating a new high, all that good stuff as it go from this area. So that's how I go about taking a breakout with the trend. Okay. So let's talk about away from the trend. Of course, this was yesterday highs. So this is an important area. So remember that liquidity thing I was telling you guys about. So what price like to do as well is also go and basically stop out key areas, which is highs and lows. So this right here is a high from yesterday. So what the banks like to do sometimes is push past that high to stop out all sellers and then bring it back down, like sell even harder. The only way that this would be valid, that if it breaks under this resistance, all right, and close, then you would sell down. So that's another way you can trade the breakout as well, is to not look for it to keep going up, but to know that it's actually not a breakout. It's a fake out, and it's actually grabbing liquidity and then it's coming back down. So that was the high from yesterday. Of course, we above it right now. We done made a new high. So it's showing that price want to, basically keep pushing or be bearish, but you just gotta be careful sometimes because they will grab this high, grab liquidity, and then drop it super hard. All right. So if price close, remember, price close under again this level that actually was broken, then that would be, a valid way to actually take a sell back down. And then you'll put your stop loss literally above this zone. So it could be tight again if you caught it, if it broke down. But you see this, y'all? See how that rejected right there? That would have been the best entry possible. And I'm glad it's doing this in real time so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. This rejection right here, you would have been good to go for that buy up. Look at that momentum. You literally just got to go with what price is showing you. Okay. So it never closed and never broke below this high right here at this point. So this would have been a nice little scalp up. All right. But you can target this right here. But 9 times out of 10, guys, when it reject and it start to pick up that momentum, it should go create a new high. So you should see price go at least to this zone. But if it's really doing, what it's supposed to do, it should break the zone and then go to the next key level, okay, that we expecting to go to, which you look to the left, guess what? It's another high. So yeah, guys, so that's how I go about breakouts. Quick scalps, like I say, not looking to hold a trade forever. Now you can catch a runner, but all fair value gaps has to be filled. It's a lot that comes with holding a runner because you don't want to hold it too long and then price decide to come back down. All right. Because you think you got a super good entry and price took off. So it's all about key areas, y'all, momentum and stuff like that. So if price come here and it don't make it back up to that zone, then you want to go ahead and take your profit. But that would be an area to target. And then once again, guys, if it just break past that, then that's when you looking for it to go to that next key zone, key area. But it all started with what? A break. The retest came back down, and then it went. So even if you took that first break, you still could be in that trade and hold it. But the psychology, 9 out of 10, you're not gonna want to hold it. You're gonna want to step out. So when it come back to retest, you can either enter again and let it run. The second time, I just keep it simple. Same thing if this was a sell, all right? If this was down here, so if we would have flipped this, the price would have actually broke through this support, okay? Then we will be doing the same thing. You can either take that break or wait for it to come back and take it again, all right? If it don't break back above that area, but just remember, you're not going to always get a pullback just right off the bat. All right. It's not going to happen. Sometimes it may take hours. Sometimes you'll get a breakout and it'll be gone all day. It's not going to come back. So don't expect a pullback every single time you get a breakout. All right. So that's why I personally just take the trade with caution. I feel like it has a lot of momentum and it's not just grabbing liquidity. All right. That's that, guys. That's my view on a breakout. We actually just had one in live time, so I was able to show you exactly what I mean. But basically just go on your chart, man, back test, and look at what I just showed you guys and come back to the video if you need to. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click that notification bell. Other than that, I'm out.